Hey guys, welcome to my thinking couch. In this video, I want to talk about signature instruments, specifically signature guitars, and how it's all a scam. Just this morning, I was watching videos from NAM, and Mr. John Petrucci was talking about his newest incarnation of his signature guitar, how it's even better than before. It's punchier, it's this and that, it's louder, it's more kind of bitier. It's every year they come up with an improvement from the previous year. It seems like, yeah, right. um, so yeah, it's all a scam. Like David Gilmour's famous black Strat, he did not care too much about it. Clearly, if you are curious, there's a whole book about it even. So he bought it, I think, in like 1970 or 1971 at Manny's Music in New York City. It was a sunburst, painted black. Then he put different pickups in it. Then he removed the neck, put a different neck on it. Then removing that 70s big headstock neck, replaced it with a rosewood one. Then at some point he added a humbucker. Then he added a 22 fret neck. Then he drilled out an extra jack, and he removed the tremolo, and then he installed a collar whammy system, and then that guitar was just hung in a Hard Rock Cafe somewhere in the middle of nowhere for like 15 years. And then he just rediscovered that guitar and played it at the reunion at the Live Aid in 2000, was it 2005? And oh my God, the legendary guitar is back. You've got to be kidding me. He never cared about that guitar. It was just, let's try this, let's try that, let's install a 5-way selector switch on it. Let's route out some stuff. Let's install a switch. I mean, come on. Honestly, I know that guitar is sort of legendary because the body itself appeared at Live at Pompeii concert, which was not really fully a concert because it has overdubbed parts. Some of the stuff was green screened in the studio and fully recorded at the studio. But anyway, that black Strat is that legendary Strat. But honestly, all that remains from that guitar is just the body, because everything else has been swapped out. I mean, I guess yes, some of the molecules from that guitar were there or something like that. To be honest, I mean, you've got to be kidding me. There are so many videos where people demonstrate that tone wood does not really play a role in how the guitar sounds by basically swapping out the body of the guitar. There was recently a video where somebody created a guitar where you could, basically the pickup and the volume were in this like little wooden body, like as narrow as possible, and then that guy designed it so you could snap in different actual guitar bodies onto it. And the conclusion was that the guitar wood that it's made out of makes barely any difference. There's always going to be some changes in the sound when you swap out the neck or have the body made out of ash or plywood or something, but it's completely negligible. Honestly, you use more magnetic power in your pickups over the years than the difference in the stone wood. So basically, back to the Gilmore Strat. It's at this point, yeah, it's a nice Strat, I guess, the signature one without all the wear and fake relicking. But the reality is that you can take the Gilmore signature Strat, swap out the body for your cheaper kind of Fender Squire, Chinese Fender Squire, and it will sound the same. It will sound just the same. And the same argument is that you can give David Gilmour any Squire, and he will sound like David Gilmour. I mean, with electric guitars and when it comes to sound, it's all in the pickups and maybe the tone capacitors, but this like legendary tone wood BS. And it's also funny. There was another video recently where Jimmy Page is now reissuing his famous Dragon Telecaster, which was given to him by Jeff Beck, and then he just banged it around, painted crap on it, put some mirrors on it, then just like gave it away at one point, and I think it's been lost. That's how much that legendary Jeff Beck uh, Telecaster was. It was so legendary that he just abused the hell out of it and just gifted it to somebody. So he's reissuing the Dragon Telecaster. I think it's kind of cool that he is actually painting the dragon on those guitars himself. So that in itself is amazing. But other than that, it's just a Telecaster. It's just a Telecaster. And I'm just people need to understand that it's all a scam. It's just all a scam to sell more stuff. The new and improved model as opposed to yesterday's. Yesterday's was crap, but now we dialed it and we worked very hard with the artist and we dialed in that tone, that legendary tone. Like, come on. It's you're gonna hear the same story every freaking year. Tone wood, signature models. I mean, if you want to be a copycat, if you want to look like Brian May or I don't know who's another one who plays like a recognizable guitar. I guess David Gilmour with a black Strat. It's just a black Strat. I don't know. It's just unless you want to be a copycat, unless you are playing in a tribute band and you want to look like Eddie Van Halen in 1980, the same way that his homemade guitar looked, yeah, just go and get yourself a signature model if you want to hang it on the wall and whatever. But other than that, just come up with your own stuff. Take a guitar and customize it to your liking. You deserve to have your own signature model or customized model of the guitar. Why not? My guitar, one of the guitars is the Swiss Army Strat that I call it. It's the Mexican Strat that I customized to my liking. I like it. People recognize it. People like it. People ask me what all the switches do, and it's mine. And I'm very happy with the way it sounds. I'm happy that it's different. I kind of stand out. So just do more of that. Or another artist with a signature model is Eddie Van Halen. Yeah, that legendary, the number one legendary guitar. He abused the hell out of that guitar as well. The very first kind of part caster, swapped the necks, drilled out the pickup, replaced the pickup. One point he was replacing the tremolo, and he had a quarter. He drilled a hole through a like 1978 quarter to make sure the tremolo stays in place and doesn't freaking explode all over. And there was a $28,000 replica of that piece of shit guitar. Yes, I mean it's a piece of history, but Eddie Van Halen clearly did not take care of that particular guitar because it looks like ass. So there you go. There are my thoughts about signature models. If you're a collector, if you're an avid fan of a band or a musician, by all means, go and get yourself the latest and the greatest. But for the rest of us, it's all a scam.